The location I chose for this crime prevention through environmental design audit was Wickham Park in Spring Hill, a space which is bordered by Wickham Terrace to the north and Albert Street to the south. As shown here, walkways within the park consist of this roadside pathway which runs next to Wickham Terrace, another roadside pathway which runs adjacent to Albert Street, and this secondary pathway which runs between the Wickham Terrace roadside walkway and the main grassed area of the park. As can be seen, these pathways are all relatively flat and straight, supporting the park's intended use of being a space for passive recreational activities like walking or cycling. Furthermore, there is also this stairway which runs from the top to the bottom of the park, cutting straight through the middle of the open grassed area. This green space allows for people to engage in sedentary activities like picnicking. However, the steep slope of the park could somewhat impede on the use of the space for these activities. In regards to the crime, antisocial behaviour or disorder issues which may affect this site, the most prominent antisocial behaviour issue evident within Wickham Park is homelessness, with other issues including drug use and property damage. The findings of this audit indicate that there are many elements of the design of Wickham Park which can be improved upon to better reflect current CPTED principles. The first design flaw within Wickham Park is the lack of clear sightlines from various points within the space. Whilst there are clear sightlines along most of the walkways in the park, due to their relatively flat and straight design, the tall and crowded vegetation within the park severely reduces visibility. This means that people who are walking along the roadside pathways are not easily able to see other people who are using the grassed areas of the park. It also means that all people within the park, whether on walkways or in the grassed areas, may not be easily seen by pedestrians or vehicles passing by the area. The poor landscaping of Wickham Park also creates many opportunities for an offender wishing to hide, such as within bushes or behind trees with thick trunks. Other entrapment spots which have been created in the park include behind benches or under tables and between rubbish bins. The next significant design fault in Wickham Park is the severe lack of signage within the space, with there being no real clear instructions indicating how users can access help nearby. Whilst there is this single sign which displays the Crime Stoppers contact number, the only other signs within the park show the rules which apply to the space and the direction and distance to Roma Street train station. One other important finding to note from the audit is the lack of activity in the space, which in turn reduces opportunities for natural surveillance in the area. As a result of these findings from the CPTED audit, several recommendations are suggested for improvements to Wickham Park. The first recommendation addresses the lack of sightlines across the green spaces in the park. To create clearer sightlines, it is suggested that some of the tall, crowded vegetation within the park be removed and replaced with shorter, sparser plants. Doing this will also reduce the number of entrapment spots present within the park and allow for both the users of the space and would-be offenders to be more easily seen. To further reduce the number of entrapment spots, modifying the rubbish bins to be flush against one another would also prevent someone from being able to hide between them. Another recommendation addresses the minimal signage within Wickham Park. It is suggested that more signs should be added to the space, which not only show users of the park where they are able to seek assistance nearby, but which also display the contact numbers for both emergency services and security, like on this sign which is found in Roma Street Parklands. A final recommendation addresses the minimal activity levels within the park. Whilst the low levels of vehicle traffic along Wickham Terrace and Albert Street cannot easily be influenced, Some features could be added to the park to encourage an increase in activity within the park itself. One suggestion is the introduction of a small coffee stand somewhere within the park, as this may work to attract more visitors to the space and in turn promote natural surveillance within the park.